Good morning and welcome to Inside South Florida. I'm Dave Azer. Today there's a budding musical superstar born and raised right here in South Florida. We're going to meet her and hear her hit single. Plus, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is about to hold a very big fundraiser. We'll let you know how you can take part. And if you want to eat healthy but you just don't have time to do it, we're going to show you how you can eat healthy on the go. That and more as Inside South Florida starts now. Davina Leone could be the next big musical superstar from South Florida. She already has a hit single, she's open for One Republic, and she's part of an anti-bullying campaign. You really should get to know her, and you can right now. Davina, it is awesome to have you on the show.
Thank you.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm talking to a local celebrity. I mean, come on, pretty cool. So let's get into who you are and how this all started for you. You're born and raised down here, and you started off as a piano player, right?
Yes. I started playing piano when I was like 5 years old. My parents put me in piano lessons, and I didn't really like it because it was all very classical. But then I started playing more like hits from the radio, and then I kind of was like thankful that they got me into piano because I could play. Yeah.
Can you do like the cool, like cross-handed Billy Joel kind of stuff?
I can't. I used to. They used to teach me like those cool things, but no, it's just done. It's
okay. Well, that's fine. You got a great voice, so don't worry about piano. So how did you get discovered? I know that YouTube had a lot to do with it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I started posting covers when I was like 15, and then Donnie Whiteman found me, and he recommended me to a songwriter, Richie Supa, who worked with like Aerosmith and everything. So then I met with Richie and we started songwriting, made an album, and yeah, he taught me a lot of stuff, and we worked with a lot of great people on that.
So this is something I've always wanted to know. When someone is as young as you were when this all happened for you, how can you write a song? Like what life experiences do you have? What goes into your songs?
I mean, it's actually like high school, you learn a lot in high school. So it was more like high school love and just stuff with friends and boyfriends here and there. So I mean, everybody can relate kind of, because I tried to generalize it as much as possible so that people from all ages could relate.
You know what, you're right. I'm thinking back to when I was in high school 600 years ago, and everything seems like it's like a huge catastrophe, right? When you're living it in high school.
Yeah.
She didn't hold my hand in biology class or whatever, and then it's not as big of a deal. But I guess in the moment, it's big stuff.
Yeah, that's your world. That's
right.
Whatever is there is collapsing at that moment, I guess.
Right. Well, so I know things have been going great. You've got an album now. It's on iTunes. The album's called Awake, right? And you're a star when one of your songs is in a Hallmark Channel movie. Then you've made it, right?
Yeah, that was crazy. Like we sat around and we saw like the movie, and then after at the end, it was so great because that was the part where everybody was just happy and the movie was like done, happy ending, and then my song comes in and then it just fades to black with my voice, and I was just like, ah.
That's so cool.
That was crazy.
Yeah, what a cool thing.
Right?
Yeah, that's gotta be amazing. So how does that process happen? You'd already created the song, right? And then what, Hallmark Channel found the song and called you? How's that work?
No, it was actually, we were working with like this agency, and one of the guys knew the director of the movie and was like, oh hey, I know this great song that you could put in it. So then the guy listened to it and the director loved the song, and he contacted me and said, I'd love to use your song. So I was like, yes, take it.
Of course,
it
yeah.
Great.
And the song is called Up All Night.
Yes.
And it's kind of your first hit. So will that always be the most special song for you? How does that work? Like, do you have, of your catalog, do you have a favorite one, the one that means the most?
I do. I think my favorite one always when it comes on the album is Circles, just because that was the first one me and Richie wrote. So it just has like a little special place in my heart, because that was like the moment that I like found my songwriting abilities, and it's just like my first song.
Yeah, no, so cool. And you've also had a chance to tour with some really great musicians. One Republic, really talented band. I know you spent some time with them. Are you the kind of are you a sponge now? I mean, when you hang out with these really accomplished musicians, are you just kind of picking their brain all the time?
Yeah, like I like to see how they act on and off the stage, and I kind of pick up pointers from them, how they like answer to other people and stuff like that. It's really like, it's definitely a learning experience.
So what kind of stage presence do you want to have in 5 years from now when you're playing, Sun Life Stadium, a 70,000 seat venue, and you're just owning it? Are you outgoing on stage? Are you very serious on stage? Who are you?
No, I am so outgoing on stage. I just want to have fun. Like, I feel like if you're coming to a concert, it's just to have fun and to hear some music and dance around and just be easygoing. I love to think of my fans as my friends, so it's just like one big party.
I always wonder for musicians, what is the first concert that you ever saw?
Britney Spears. I was 8 years old and I went to Britney Spears. It was the best concert of my life. I was just like, I bought a Britney Spears shirt and I was a total fangirl.
Now, can you dance like Britney Spears?
Probably not. No, I mean, I could. I took dance for a long part of my life, but.
Yeah. So who else has shaped you musically?
Christina Aguilera played a huge part. So did Kelly Clarkson and Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Michael Jackson also. My parents, like, they would listen to them every day, like, in the house, blasting the music. So me and my brother just knew all the songs when we were, like, 5.
So you're just walking around singing Thriller and
yeah, exactly.
and whatever.
They had, like, the greatest hits Michael Jackson album. I knew all the songs, especially the one with Paul McCartney that was, like...
Say, Say, Say. Is that the one?
No, it was the
Well,
one
that
that was
was one of
like,
them.
The Girl Is Mine.
The Girl Is
like,
Mine, yeah, sure. You should also check out Say, Say, Say.
Okay, I will.
Because you looked at me like I did not know when I was
I
talking
know,
about
I was
that.
like, uh-oh.
It's a real
That's not
thing,
it.
I promise. No, that's a good song too. So let's also talk about, we'll come back to music in a bit, but I want to talk about your anti-bullying campaign. I know that's a big deal for you. Why is that so important for you?
I was bullied in high school and middle school a lot. I changed schools because of primarily the fact that I was a singer and I was very like creative. People would find out and I just get a lot of negative attention and it was just a very hard time for me, but I'm on this anti-bullying campaign to kind of tell kids that it's okay to be yourself, remind them that positive hobbies are good for you and they help you, and if you stick to what you want to do in your life, then you'll come out on top. And
I mean it's really wonderful, and to hear it from someone that's accomplished must really resonate for these kids. But it's surprising to me because I wouldn't think that someone that's a musician, because I think music is cool and I think kids think music is cool. Mm-hmm. So I'm surprised that you as a musician, that you were bullied.
Right, and that's what I also tell the kids is that anybody can be bullied. It's not a certain stereotype you have to fit. It's like anybody could be. So it's important to really be proud of yourself.
And I think also a lot of it's so hard now for kids because there's all this cyberbullying stuff too. I mean, it used to just be they'd pick on you and whatever, but now it's like Facebook and Twitter and all these ways for kids to really just get hurt.
Right.
Yeah. So it's important to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's jump back to your music. We have a couple minutes left. What's next for you? What's the next move?
Well, I'm going to Haiti in November. I'm going with a nonprofit organization called Flying High, and they are allowing me to go there and teach music to the kids. So I'm going to do that. And then also in November, I have some shows in LA coming up, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of venues and concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great. Now, are you writing still? So, and that's another thing is like, so now when you go home and you're in your car or whatever, are you just like pulling along the side of the road and just writing down lyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always. Like my phone is just filled with like little notes of just little blurbs, just lyrics. Anything that comes to my head, I always write down, and it's like my phone's just full.
Right.
I'm
You wake up in the
writing.
morning, you're like, I can't even read this.
Yeah, like what did I
gibberish.
even think about when I
Right.
was writing this?
And then if you could tour with anybody, you could go on tour, your manager calls you now, whomever calls you now, and says, guess what, you're going on tour with blank. Who should that be?
John Mayer.
Oh yeah?
I love John Mayer. He influenced me so much as far as like pop and guitar music and stuff like that. He's the reason I learned guitar. It would like be a dream come true.
So cool. And he was just here.
Yeah, and I missed it.
Oh, you could have stalked him.
I had rehearsals and I was like, oh.
You missed John Mayer for rehearsals?
That's what I told my brother.
Rehearsals?
See, I told my brother this. He's the musical director, and he was like, Davina, we can't miss rehearsals. We got a show coming up. And I was
That's
like, it's
crazy. It's John Mayer.
But he's playing in Orlando in December, and we're getting tickets for that. So
Okay,
it's
but
fine.
next time I want you to just be like, look, going to a John Mayer show is a rehearsal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm seeing how to perform.
Exactly. I'm taking the pointers.
Yes, absolutely. All right, well, sadly, we're out of time. But what we're going to do is, before we go to break, we're going to have people check out one of your videos, right? Up All Night, the song that we were just talking about.
Yes.
So do you want to set it up? Do you want to give it like this big introduction before we hit it?
Sure. Should I look at a certain camera?
Look right there, right there.
This is my song Up All Night. I hope you guys like it.
All right, it was so great to talk to you.
You too.
Best of luck, and I want front row seats when you're playing Sun Life Stadium.
Definitely.
Deal?
Deal.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
It's the same every night. Baby, you show up when I turn out the light. It's a game. I'm tossed